Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dave and today I'm just doing a bit of maintenance on one of my kids' car. It needs a little bit of work. We're going to put a set of tyres on it. The tyres are pretty well scrubbed out on the outside here. The one on the other side is quite low. And the problem is that this car has currently 3 different brands of tyres on it, which I'm not real happy about. So we're going to change out the tyres. I've got a new set of tyres we're going to put on. Just do a bit of other maintenance work. I'll probably do an oil change, filter change. And like a lot of cars, this is a 2007 model Nissan Tida. We call them in Australia, T-I-I-D-A. Trouble with all these cars is the yellowing of the lens here on the headlights. So I've got some Perspex polish, which I'm going to use, and we're going to polish these lenses up a bit to make that a bit clearer. The car's actually going in for a registration inspection at the end of this week, so I just want to make sure all the lights work, that the tyres are good. And I did just notice when I pulled it in that it looks like it's got a hole in the exhaust, so we may have to try and fix that as well. Anyway, we'll do that. I've got my tyres here. Now I'm going to do this tyre change here in the workshop. Luckily I've got a tyre changing machine and a wheel balancer down the corner here. I use this quite a lot for swapping trailer tyres and caravan tyres and things around, so we'll show a bit of that as well. Anyway, that's the project for this morning. Let's get into it. Just make sure if you've got locking nuts on the wheel that you make sure that your kids know where the adapter is in case they have to change a wheel. Just going to use my air jack under here to lift the car up. This is what's this brand? Vivor, yeah, I bought this off eBay or somewhere online, and I really like it. It actually lifts up cars very easy, and also I can get it under my 4-wheel drive, so it's a pretty good thing. It just connects up to an air supply here, and it's got 2 tabs on the front, so one of them you just put air in and the other one lets the air out, so very easy to use. Let's just put it up. Just doing it slow. And that's enough there. That wheel's off the ground. I can get my hand under there. That's all good. And then you can actually disconnect the air hose here. It holds pressure. You can take this hose out now if you want to, which I'm going to have to because I've got to connect it up to the tyre machine. Just give you a bit of a look at the tyre machine that I've got. It's I don't know why my TV is there, but anyway, the tyre changer I bought from a company online. It's just a cheap Chinese made tyre machine. It's very similar to, I guess, what you would find in a conventional tyre shop. So it's got jaws that hold the wheel in. It's got a turntable that spins around. It runs on compressed air that runs the jaws, and then an electric motor that runs the turntable. We'll have a look at that in operation in a minute. And then the wheel balancer actually came with it. I bought them together, and this is just a computer balancer that allows you to put the wheels on the end here, then you spin it, and then it tells you on the display what weights to put on the inside and the outside of the wheel, and then hopefully job done. So all right, so the next thing I've got to do is just taking the valve out of that tyre. I'm going to put it in this side of the tyre machine, and that arm actually pushes it in against the tyre, and that actually breaks the bead on the front and the back. That's the first thing you've got to do. And if you don't have a tyre changing machine, I reckon this is probably the worst job of trying to break the bead on a tyre against a wheel. Put this in against there, put that against there, press the button. Bang. Come out, spin it around. It's actually got it pretty well. Do the outside. I've got this stuff here. It's like a soap solution. Some people mix up their own stuff. I'm actually going to put this on the tyre. Normally you put it on when you put the tyre on the rim, but I actually just put a bit on to aid getting the tyre off. This is a very low profile tyre, and it's going to be quite tight, I think, so I'll just put some of this around here just to aid it coming off. Okay, this arm adjusts so you can just offset just off the rim. This particular part of the tyre changer is actually called the duck because it looks a bit like a duck, I guess, if you use your imagination. So there's a plastic or Teflon or something guide here, and we just have that just sitting off the rim so you don't scratch the rim. I might just drop this down a little bit, and then we get our tyre changer lever, which goes in here, and then if we all get it right, it'll peel the tyre off. Let's hope. All right, so that tyre's off the top bit. Now, again, the harder bit is you have to lift the tyre up and get the tyre lever right down the bottom, down there, to start to peel it off the back. So we'll give that a go. Okay, tyres off the rim, that's all good. Next thing I'm going to do is actually take this old valve out. Normally when you replace tyres you put a new valve stem in there, so I've got a new one here, and I'll just show you that process of cutting the old one out and pulling the new one in. I'm just going to use a chisel that I've got here. Might be a little bit small, but you just get the bottom of the valve and cut it off, and then the old one comes out. Put a new valve in, so I've got this contraption here which just screws into the top of the valve, so it goes in, and then you get it from the inside, screw it in. And then just pull it up like this, and that seats it in. Happy days. Now these tyres actually have an inside and an outside, so you have to sort of make sure that the outside is obviously on the outside. These are very low profile tyres. They're only a 45 series tyre, and it makes it somewhat harder to get on. These two dots that are on the tyre here are indication of when they make the tyre, of where the optimum balance point is. So usually the valve that's in the wheel goes near these dots here, the yellow or the red dot. Usually I just line it up to the yellow, and that just helps the wheel balancing a little bit easier. Right, let's get this on. Need a bit of water. I think it's gone a bit dry over summer months. Got to do both sides. And if you're doing like a normal trailer tyre that's 75 or 80 series tyre, they're usually a lot easier to get on the rims than these low profile ones, but shouldn't be all right. Sort of put it around the duct, so you start off on the top and then put it under the front, and then that should pull it onto the rim while you're sort of pushing it this way a bit. Some go on easier than others, so we'll see how easy this one is. Got to make sure I've got my valve in about the right position. About there maybe. Okay, moving on to balancing the wheel on my Chinese wheel balancer. So I've got the new tyre on the rim. I've taken the old wheel weights that were on there previously off. And this machine, to give you the balance, needs three things. So it needs the distance that the wheel is actually out from the machine on this measure thing here, and that's 7.5. So we go up here and we set our display there to give us 7.5, and this is in centimetres, so I think you can change it for other countries and so forth. The second thing I need is the width. So I get my things here, and you measure between the inside of the rim, or the outside of the rim to the outside of the rim, like that, and then on that scale there will give you a reading, which is again 7.5. So we put that into the machine, that's also 7.5, and then the diameter of the actual rim, and in this case it's a 17-inch rim, so I'll put that in as 17, and that's fine. And then I can start the machine. And it'll tell us where we put the weights. So I need 5 and 20. So what I've done is I've actually selected here, you've got a number of types of wheels. So there's a steel wheel at the top, there's an aluminium wheel if you put weights on the outside, there's aluminium wheels if you put the weight on the centre and the inside but not on the outside, and then the last one is weights on the inside and weights on the outside, which is what I'm going to do, because on these alloy wheels obviously we don't want to put any weights on the outside of the wheel at all, we want to just have them on the inside. So then I rotate the wheel to find the position of the weights. So I'm looking at this here where I'm going to put my 20 grams of weight, and I turn it and you'll see there is where the centre is. So that's actually from the centre axle to the top, so that's where I have to put 20. So what I'll do is I'll just get a rag and I'll clean off the brake dust so I can actually stick the weights on there. That's where all those other weights were. Oh no, that's good. I'm using stick-on weights to balance this wheel and tyre. So each one of these little stick-on weights is 5 grams. So on the inside here I need 20, so I need 1, 2, 3, 4 of those to go on the inside. Just right, so I've got that in there. Don't know if you can see in there. So I've got the 20 grams of weight there. Then I just rotate it again to give me the position of the outside. Which is there. Grams. Have I got 5 grams? I do have 5. Okay. I'm going to put it just down there. Okay, you can see on here that I've got one of the 5 gram weights there, and if I rotate my wheel around a bit, there's 20 grams of weight sitting over there. Okay, I'm going to move on to trying to clean up the lenses on this Nissan Tyre. These are like typical of what happens with a car when it gets old, because these headlights aren't glass, they're just plastic. And you can polish them to a degree and make them a bit clearer. So what I'm going to use today is I've just got some Mequiars PLASTX clear plastic cleaner and polish. I've got a fair bit of that left. I've used it a couple of times already, and I'm going to use my buffer, which is a bit of an overkill really. I really just need a smaller one that goes on the end of a drill would be fine, but I haven't got any pads for that, so I'll try this one and try some of the paste and see if we can make this a little bit clearer. Right, I just gave it a quick hit. I could actually polish it a bit more, but I think that will do. It doesn't stop the yellowing. I mean, the yellowing comes back again, but you can just keep polishing it if it's the right sort of compound. So that looks that sort of clear compared to the other side that I haven't done yet. That looks like that. So I'll get on and do this one now. There we are, nice and clean now. You just got to be careful when you're using the buffer that you don't go too heavy on it. It is only plastic and you can actually melt it if you dig into it too much, but that'll be all right. That'll make it a bit clearer anyway for a while. Well, there we are, job's done. I've just finished doing the last of the wheels and tyres and put them back on, and I'm glad now that the new tyres are on there, because previously we did have 3 different types of tyre on the car and 2 of them were very badly worn. So I've got a greater peace of mind now knowing that it's got new tyres on there that will do the job. The polishing of the headlamps came out quite well, so I just used a plastic polish on those. They won't stay that way. Probably within 6 months or so I'll probably have to do them again, but at least I know now that the car is pretty well going to get through the re-registration process, the inspection. And the Chinese tyre changing machine and wheel balancing machine certainly made the job a lot easier. And I do understand that not a lot of people have access to their own tyre changing machine, but I found I've had them now for about 2 years, and they really do make a difference when you have to continually change over trailer tyres and caravan tyres. And even on the weekend you get friends and family that drop in because the tyre places are closed for the weekend and they need an urgent job done. So I reckon they're a good thing. They're not that expensive and they certainly so far have seemed to do the job. So that's about it for this video. I appreciate everybody watching the video and supporting the channel. Please share, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.